If your dog seems to have trouble listening to you around distractions, you've come to the right place. I had to work really hard with Mochi on gaining his focus around distractions because he's easily excitable and very high energy, very reactive, but after about a year of training, it's getting so much better, so I'm here to tell you how to teach your dog to focus on you around distractions, whether those are dogs or people or whatever. And stay tuned until the end because I'm going to go over one super quick exercise you can do every single day to improve focus.
Mochi's tails.
Today, I'm going to go over one method I use with Mochi to gain focus around distractions. I do have more methods we use, but that's too much info for one video, so stay tuned for those. Today's method is all about teaching the focus cue. This command tells your dog he needs to look at you in the eyes, and this is really useful because when you have your dog's eye contact, the likelihood that he listens to you is so much better than if not. I use the focus cue before I tell Mochi to do just about anything outdoors because it's full of environmental distractions. To teach the focus command, first start inside. Hide some treats where your dog can see them, like your pocket, and say the word focus as you put a finger between your eyes like I'm doing here. When your dog follows with their eyes and looks at your finger between your eyes, immediately mark and reward.
Focus? Yes.
Do this over and over several times. Then, move on to try saying the word focus and not use your finger, and rather stay entirely still. Your dog is most likely still going to be a bit confused even after the first step and maybe even start offering up different tricks he knows, but eventually when your dog does make eye contact, which I guarantee he will, mark and reward. Keep practicing until your dog knows that focus means to make eye contact, even if it's for a split second. I recommend using a clicker like I'm doing here to capture the moment of that eye contact because it really might be a split second, so it's really important to mark that behavior.
Focus? Yes.
Once your dog gets the general idea, start trying to distract your dog by putting treats in your hands and stretching your arms out like I'm doing here. Say focus and wait for them to make eye contact, then immediately mark and reward again.
Focus? Yes.
As they get better, start waiting longer and longer until you mark and reward so that they hold that eye contact.
Yes.
Once you've completed all these steps of the focus cue indoors, start practicing outdoors. You might have to start from step 1 again when you move outdoors, especially if your dog is very distractible. That's fine and actually totally normal. Different environments often cause some backtracking in training, so be patient and keep going. The keys to practicing outside are 1, to exercise them a bit first so they're not so hyperactive and can't settle. That could look like a little bit of fetch like I do with Mochi often, or a little walk. And secondly, you should choose a familiar spot and also a spot where your dog has some distance from his main triggers. If you have a backyard, start there. If not, try finding a spot where your dog has significant distance from things like other dogs and people. Then, each time you practice, move a little bit closer to the hustle and bustle of other people and dogs each day so that your dog can learn to focus on you even when the distractions are pretty much right there. My biggest hack to training this is also to hand feed your dogs meals as often as you can. Just do the focus training I laid out here today, but instead of using treats, use their meal times and use their food. If you feed raw like we do, you can also use some plastic gloves to do it. Not only does this improve your relationship with your dog, this is super easy for anyone to do because your dog has to eat anyway, so you might as well fit in a quick training exercise with them about focusing and eye contact. And that's pretty much it. It sounds simple when you put it into one video, but this command takes a ton of practice. With Mochi, it took months for it to reach even 75% of reliability outside. But the focus cue is so useful for gaining your dog's focus that it's 100% worth it. Now that your dog knows the focus cue, check out our video on how to teach your dog to go to place.